Hi guys, we're back in Roblox, and today we're playing the Escape from Minions prison mode. Ready for an adventure?
Hi, friends. Yes, this is going to be fun. Imagine a prison full of minions. Who would have thought that these little yellow creatures could be so dangerous?
So, our first step is to get out of the cell. Look, we need to crawl through the ventilation duct. Oh, it's like in prison escape movies.
Exactly. Go ahead, Labrador. You go first. You have more experience with this stuff. Aha.
All right, here we go. Oh, it's pretty tight. Hey, Dobie, remember the last time you got stuck in the vents?
Ha! Right. That was in the Escape from the Asylum mode. Hopefully, these vents are wider. And here's the first boss, a huge minion with a laser gun.
Wow, he's a serious guy. Okay, I have a plan. We need to jump on the platforms, dodge his shots, and attack him with our bazooka.
Wow, and I thought minions only love bananas. Okay, jump, shoot. Oh no, he's aiming at me.
Dobie, take care of yourself. Shoot at his legs to slow him down. Yes, like that. We've almost defeated him.
Hooray! The first boss is down. But listen, what's that sound? It looks like we have trouble ahead. Another boss, Mega Minion with a shield and hammer.
Right, he looks tough. We need to be smart. Let's try to trick him and hit his weak spots when he lifts the shield.
Good plan, attack! Oh, look, he's swinging his hammer like Thor. Ha! I hope he's not as accurate.
Come on, Dobie, dodge. He's vulnerable when he attacks. Shoot him. Yes, we did it. He's defeated.
Whew, that was intense. But we made it. Labrador, do you remember how we used to watch Despicable Me as kids? Minions were always funny, and now they're real bosses.
You watched Despicable Me? The Minions are the coolest characters ever.
These little yellow guys are always at the center of all the funny situations. Have you guys watched this movie?
Yeah, I think everyone has. So, let's tell them what's going on here. We're in the secret base of the Minions. To escape, we need to complete a tough parkour and defeat 2 minion bosses. Sounds like a real challenge.
Wow, there are so many rusty pipes and platforms, they don't look very sturdy. Labrador, be careful not to fall.
I'm trying. Oh, I always said minions are jack of all trades, but their work isn't always perfect. Aha! Here's the first challenge. We need to jump over these moving platforms.
They probably made this to slow us down. By the way, remember how in Despicable Me, the minions were always repairing and inventing things? Looks like they've been busy here too.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, look, up ahead is our first boss, a huge minion with a laser gun. This is going to be tough.
A huge minion? Maybe he just ate too many bananas? Haha. All right, let's focus. To defeat him, we need to dodge his shots and attack back.
Hey, Dobie, remember how we met the minions a week ago? That was unforgettable.
Oh yeah, how could I forget? Did you ever expect our ice cream trip to end up with meeting those yellow guys?
Not at all. We had just left the store when we saw one minion chasing another who was rolling a giant ice cream ball down the street. They're always so funny.
Haha, exactly. And remember how they invited us to help with their latest experiment? They messed up the instructions so much that we ended up exploding a bunch of popcorn in their lab.
Oh, it was a real popcorn rain. Good thing we managed to escape before Gru showed up. He wouldn't have been pleased.
Yeah, but the minions were thrilled. They even gave us a tour of their secret base. Remember how one of them tried to show us his new gadget, the banana blaster?
Oh yeah, and how the blaster, instead of shooting bananas, started spraying banana puree all over the place. We were in a sticky nightmare.
Uh-huh. Good thing we got cleaned up when they took us to the banana bath. I still can't believe they have a separate room just for washing bananas.
Minions and their quirks. But then they showed us their new project, a giant cleaning robot. That was something.
Yes, but the minions forgot to set it up properly, and it started chasing us with a giant mop. Good thing we managed to turn it off before it turned everything into chaos.
But the funniest part was when we decided to race on their little yellow cars. These cars look so cute, but driving them is a real challenge.
Haha, yeah, especially when they decided to turn on all the obstacles and traps. I still can't believe we made it through the Ring of Fire unscathed.
That was a real adventure. And finally, remember how they surprised us with a huge cake?
Oh yeah, except instead of cream, it had a whole kilogram of banana puree. But it was fun and delicious.
Dobie, remember how it all started? The minions showed up at our office with rocket blueprints, promising that with their help, we could travel across the galaxy. When we were tasked with building a rocket for galactic exploration, we didn't expect this project to become one of the toughest challenges in our careers. This whole story began with the arrival of the minions who offered their assistance. Who would have thought that these funny yellow creatures would turn out to be such tricksters?
Of course, Labrador. They seem so friendly and enthusiastic Their plans looked incredibly detailed, and we decided it was worth a try.
We started building the rocket at our police station. The minions took on most of the work since they were real experts in mechanics and electronics. Everything went smoothly, and the rocket was ready for launch in record time.
The launch day arrived, and we all gathered at the launch pad. The minions were so excited that we didn't suspect any deception. We launched the rocket and headed into space.
The first few days of the flight were amazing. We saw incredible planets and stars. But then, as we approached the first planet, the minions suddenly changed course and locked us in a compartment.
We were shocked. It turned out the minions planned to steal all the planets and resources to create their own empire. They deceived us to use our knowledge and resources for their purposes.
We had to come up with a plan quickly. We knew we had to stop them and regain control of the rocket. We began looking for weaknesses in the security system that could help us escape.
After several hours of intense work, we managed to hack the system and disable the locks. We broke out of the compartment and confronted the minions in the control center.
It was an epic battle. The minions used all their tricks and gadgets to stop us. But Dobie and I were stronger and smarter. We managed to take control of the rocket and set course back to Earth.
When we returned to Earth, we reported the minions' betrayal and their plans to steal planets. The minions were arrested and sent to prison for further investigation.
This experience taught us to be cautious and not trust everyone blindly. But most importantly, we were able to protect our world and our galaxy from danger once again.
Yes, Labrador, we did an important job. Now we know that even in need to stay vigilant, and who knows what other adventures await us in the future.
Dobie, remember how it all started? We were called to the city because the minions were causing chaos everywhere. When Dobie and I were tasked with investigating the criminal activities of the minions, we never expected that we would eventually meet their leader, Gru. Our goal was not only to stop the minions, but also to try to understand what drives Gru to behave the way he does.
Of course, Labrador. They were stealing, creating havoc, and disturbing everyone's peace. We quickly realized that someone more cunning and smart was behind all this.
We began our investigation and soon discovered Gru, who was the king of all minions. We were warned that he was very dangerous, but we decided to approach this case differently.
Yes, instead of arresting him right away, we decided to try talking to him. It was important to understand why he became like this, and if it was possible to reform him.
We went to his lair, and to our surprise, Gru wasn't all that bad. He was gruff, but in his eyes we could see weariness and disappointment.
It turned out that Gru was a genius who had simply lost faith in people due to past betrayals and disappointments. The minions had become a kind of family for him, one he never had.
We started meeting with him more often, trying to show him that not all people are bad. We told him stories about our childhood, about how important it is to have real friends.
One day we invited him to a picnic. It was an ordinary day, but for Gru, it became something new and special. We played games, laughed, and just enjoyed the time together.
Gradually, Gru began to change. He became more open and kind. The minions, seeing the change in their leader, also started behaving better.
Of course, it wasn't all smooth sailing. There were moments when Gru relapsed and became the old Gru again. But we didn't give up and continued to support him.
Eventually, Gru completely changed. He even started helping us with investigations and, along with the minions, began protecting the city from criminals.
It was a long and difficult journey, but we managed to turn Gru from an evil genius into a kind and caring person. He became our friend and ally.
We proved that everyone deserves a second chance. And with friendship and support, even the most hardened villains can change.
Yes, Labrador. And now our city is safer and happier, thanks to our new friend Gru and his minions.
After that tough parkour, we have to face the boss. Yeah, Labrador, especially with those yellow walls and giant bananas trying to knock us down. Who do you think came up with these traps? Must be some super brainy minion. They probably thought regular prisons were too boring.
Oh, it looks like this is the real boss. And we only have a bazooka to take him down. Labrador, are you ready?
Of course, I'm always ready for these adventures. Let's keep shooting at him before he turns us into banana salad.
Haha, banana salad. All right, Mega Minion Boss, take this.
Watch out for his attacks. He's throwing huge banana bombs.
Whoa, these bombs are definitely not from the store. Listen, we only have a few shots left. Aim carefully.
Absolutely. Hey, Dobie, Remember the last time we tried to escape from Nanny Betty? I think that was even harder.
Oh, for sure. But that's a story for another time. All right, guys. See you next time in the world of Roblox.
Hello, everybody. Sheriff Labrador and Dobie here.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. As you may have guessed, today we are escaping from Mr. Smiley's daycare. Let's get started.
It's hard not to notice all these neon arrows leading to the ventilation. By the way, didn't you find it strange that he was just standing there staring at us?
I think all these facts point to Mr. Smiley conducting experiments on us. Or he's playing with us like we're lab rats.
You must be right, and he's just crazy. I think he'll be watching us through surveillance cameras throughout all the trials. Brr!
I agree, it's creepy, but we're sheriffs. We won't be scared by that.
Meanwhile, we're parkouring over pipes in the sewers. Did we fall into a manhole?
I don't remember that either. I think we entered through the ventilation, not a manhole. Everything in this daycare is so strange.
Well, it doesn't matter. The important thing is that I'm the best parkourist in our town, and we'll get through this challenge quickly.
Let's think about how we got here. We're not kids, after all.
It seems like there are two possibilities here. Either he's grabbing everyone and tossing them in a cell regardless of age, or he's a bit blind and didn't notice we're not kids.
It seems to me like he knew we were sheriffs and wanted to see if professionals could pass all his challenges.
That's also a great theory, but we still have to figure all of this out.
Oh, look, there's a big fan on the floor here. It blows so hard that we're being lifted up.
But we need to be careful and watch out for the laser to protect our heads.
Great job. We've reached the next obstacle. I see a grill ahead. It looks like we need to press these buttons to open it.
I hope we don't have to press them simultaneously.
Let's check it now. We just need to jump over this rotating platform.
We've been walking through this sewer for a long time. I have a question. Why is it so gigantic, and where does all this acidic water come from?
Great. There's just one button left. I don't understand why they made such a huge sewer, but I think the acid is what powers all these mechanisms and engines in these trials.
I remembered an interesting story about how we saved our city from an acid flood, but I'll tell it in a couple of minutes. So watch the video to the end, guys.
Great, the gates are open. Let's go.
Hold on, we need to pass one more rotating platform.
I know we can do it. This was a very simple challenge.
I'm still bothered by the fact that the sewer is connected to the ventilation. The whole daycare must smell awful.
It seems like it's depicted here that children love us and pull us towards the ground. What could this mean? And who leaves these drawings?
Wow, look, he's right in front of us. Why isn't he paying attention to us? I don't think he can't hear us.
I think he's deliberately ignoring us to attack when we least expect it.
Oh, you were right, but now we need to make a run for it.
He's very close. Ow! Oh no, what's happening? Where is he taking us?
If I'm honest, I didn't understand his intentions. Maybe he wanted to take us back to the cell but accidentally swallowed us.
It seems to me that those crawling kids distracted us. We need to check on this right now.
It looks like both Mr. Smiley and the kids are interested in us. They seem to be in it together. Perhaps he feeds them a special blend.
Great, it seems like we've confused him a bit and he's stuck. It's a good moment to make our escape.
It seems we need to jump into this hole. Goodbye, Mr. Smiley.
Hey, just don't crash on the way down.
Nice job, Dobie. We landed next to the ball pit. Let's keep going.
I already have an idea of what we need to do in this challenge. One pipe should be enough for us.
While we're going through this challenge, let's tell the guys the promised story.
With pleasure, I will tell this story. This day started off as usual, but soon we began receiving alarming reports from the townspeople. Water coming out of their taps was unusual, starting to acidify and even change color. Labrador and I were immediately dispatched to investigate this strange situation.
Arriving on scene, we inspected several homes and saw that the situation was indeed serious. Water flowing from the taps was not only acidic, but also of various colors, from green to purple. This immediately put us on alert because such a thing couldn't be a coincidence.
We began our investigation and soon discovered that the problem stemmed from an error by one of the sewer workers who had mistakenly connected the pipes beneath the laboratory. Waste from the lab, containing acidic substances, had started to flow into the city's water systems.
We realized that if we didn't stop this flow of acid, the city could be in danger. We urgently called in specialists to help us regain control of the situation and prevent further contamination of the water.
Through our combined efforts with our team, we set up temporary barriers and started pumping out the contaminated water from the system. While engineers worked to fix the errors, we ensured the safety of residents and coordinated the evacuation of those in particularly hazardous areas.
Wow, look, while we were telling the story, we reached the boss battle. The sign said we need to knock Mr. Smiley down. But how do we do that?
Let's get this sorted out. I noticed there are small children on his platform. I'm sure they'll be in our way.
Let's observe what he's going to do.
I think it's better to run before he jumps on us.
Oh, let's retreat.
2. We need to be more careful. Just like the sewer worker under the laboratory from our story.
I agree. He should have been more careful when he was fixing the pipes. But the main thing is that everything turned out fine, and this incident showed us how important it is to be vigilant and prepared to help, regardless of the job.
Oh no! Did you see how that kid sneakily grabbed our legs and wouldn't let go? Where does he get all that strength from? And he pulled us down too. But now we know we need to steer clear of those kids.
I got it. We need to lure him and wait until he starts attacking, then step aside at the right moment so he falls into the lava.
Ha ha ha! Why do these kids fly so amusingly into the stratosphere?
Why is he so close to the edge but not falling? Maybe we need to wait a bit longer or step back a bit later.
Try to step back as quickly as possible so he doesn't have time to react.
And also, we need to stand closer to the edge of this platform.
Oh no! One kid did manage to grab onto us after all. How did that happen? There were so few of them left here.
Yay! We dodged it! That's what you get, Mr. Smiley. I hope we don't encounter him again, and he won't hinder our escape from here.
Let's continue our escape. The main thing is not to fall now. That would be really frustrating, especially if we had to start the battle all over again.
Looks like we need to take the elevator. There are so many floors. It seems like this isn't a daycare, but an entire complex.
Wow! Just look at how enormous these rooms are. I can't believe all this was made by Mr. Smiley just to amuse himself by watching us go through these trials and fall into traps.
Oops. Yeah, this is all very strange and mystical. I wish the author had added some notes so we could better understand the plot. Damn. Here we go again with these rotating platforms, and there are 10 times more of them.
And I also see a bunch of swinging maces ahead. There must be 10 times more of them than in one of the previous trials. Why are we being tortured now if we defeated Mr. Smiley and there's no one left to watch us? Or maybe those little crawling kids are actually adult souls trapped in children's bodies. Brr.
And it's like the kids actually organized all of this, and Mr. Smiley was just a tool in their hands. That's truly creepy, Dobie, but I think we're overthinking it. This daycare couldn't have such a well-thought-out and captivating plot. We should save this idea and create a game like this. Guys, would you play a game created by Sheriff Labrador and Dobie?
Hey, that sounds like a great idea. Now we just need to learn how to create games. Speaking of games, since we're on the topic, let's tell the guys the story about how we saved our residents' computers from a massive virus outbreak.
Of course. Don't worry, there won't be any viruses in our game. It just happens to be a coincidence. This day seemed ordinary until we started receiving anxious calls from the town residents. Everyone was talking about strange updates on their computers that couldn't be postponed. Immediately after installing the updates, their screens were flooded with pop-ups, and some computers demanded ransom to unlock. Someone was so scared that they even threw their computer in the trash. Dobie and I realized this was serious and required immediate action.
Our first step was to determine the source of the problem. We found out that the operating system update came from one of the largest software companies. We went there to conduct our investigation.
At the company, we discovered that none of the employees were aware of what was happening. However, after carefully examining the security logs, we found out that a new employee had recently joined the company. This employee had been planning their sinister plan for years, writing the virus in advance and figuring out how to embed it into the update. He wrote it down on a flash drive and once he was hired, put his plan into action.
Realizing the need for swift action, we turned to the city's best programmers. Together, we started working on removing the virus and restoring the systems. We had to immerse ourselves in cybersecurity to understand how to combat this evil.
The process was complex and demanding. We had to develop special programs to remove the virus and recover data on infected computers. Programmers worked day and night while we ensured coordination and support.
Thanks to our combined efforts and perseverance, we managed to create a program that eliminated the virus and restored the systems of the town's residents. We spread it through local media and social networks so everyone could download and install this fix.
Hooray! Dobie, we've escaped from that daycare. That means it's time for us to say goodbye. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Leave a like and be sure to tell us what else we should play. Maybe Poppy Playtime?
See you later.
Hi, guys. Welcome to our new Roblox video. Today, we are diving into the exciting Escape Baby Bobby Daycare Obby mode.
Hi, Labrador. Hi, everyone. This is going to be a real challenge.
I, Sheriff Labrador, and my faithful partner, Sheriff Dobie, will show you how to escape from the most guarded daycare in the world. Hello, Dobie.
This daycare is unlike any other. We'll face a huge number of obstacles and traps, as well as a formidable giant baby patrolling the area.
Yes, and don't forget about the advanced security technologies trying to stop us. We'll need to use all our skills to navigate jumps, avoid chases, and even cross hot liquid magma.
Exactly. And at the end, we will have an epic battle with Baby Bobby himself. This will be an unforgettable adventure.
Wow, did you see that scary face? That's the face of the baby we need to escape from.
We must defeat him to escape from this daycare.
Dobie, look, that's his cradle. We need to get through this parkour to escape the giant baby. Be careful, there are lots of traps here.
I see it, Labrador. Lasers, jumping platforms, and even floating cubes. We need to be extremely careful and precise in our movements.
Look, there are moving platforms ahead. Hang on, I'm gonna jump onto the first one. Ready?
Ready. Jumping after you.
Great, hold on, Dobie. We're on the right track. Just remember, the baby could spot us at any moment.
Look, Labrador, there's liquid magma below. One wrong step and we're done for. Be careful.
Yes, we need to be especially cautious here. I'll go ahead and you follow me. Ready?
Always ready. Jumping after you. Oh, that was close. I almost fell, but I managed to hold on.
Good job, Dobie. Keep up the pace. We're almost halfway there. Look, there's another tough section ahead with rotating blades.
I see them, Labrador. We need to time our jumps when the blades are at a safe distance.
Dobie, do you remember when a little boy called us? He was only 8 years old and he said he had been robbed. His voice was trembling with fear.
Of course, Labrador. He called us right from the street. He said some guy took his bike when he was riding home from school. We immediately went to the scene.
Yes, we quickly found the boy. He was standing at the intersection looking scared. We approached him and I said, "Don't worry, we're here to help."
He told us the robber was wearing a black jacket and rode off towards the park. We reassured him and promised to find his bike.
We headed to the park thinking the robber might be hiding there. As soon as we arrived, I spotted someone matching the boy's description.
Yes, I saw him too. We quietly approached and saw that he was indeed riding the stolen bike. I said, "This is our chance, Labrador. Let's approach him quietly."
We approached him and I said, "Stop! This is the police." The guy was stunned and stopped immediately. We detained him and I asked, "Where did you get this bike?" "Dobie, let's stop! We've woken him up! Look, he's up and running right at us! We need to think of something fast or he'll make us his toys."
Labrador, let's run to that big toy maze. He won't be able to catch us quickly among all those obstacles.
Great idea! Let's go, faster! We need to dash between these huge blocks and teddy bears. You go first, I'll follow.
I'm already there. The maze is really slowing him down. Labrador, look, there's a big slide ahead. If we slide down, we'll have a chance to lose him.
I see it. Let's go faster. Slide down. He's still at the other end of the maze. We have the advantage.
Oh, that was fun, but he's still chasing us. Look, there's a playroom ahead with lots of stuffed animals.
Hooray! We managed to escape from him. Look at him. How cute he is. He's crying because he couldn't catch us. He wanted to play tag with us, and he lost, so he's crying. Dobie, let's continue telling the story.
At first, he tried to deny it, but then he admitted to stealing it. We returned the bike to the boy and took the robber to the station.
When we returned the bike, the boy was overjoyed. He thanked us, and his mother couldn't believe it was resolved so quickly. We said, it's our job to help and protect.
Yes, Labrador, it was a good day. We were able to help the little boy and show him that he could rely on us.
So, guys, if you ever have any problems, don't hesitate to call us. We're always ready to help.
Guys, how did you like the story? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and leave comments. You would be giving us a great gift. Thanks, everyone.
Dobie, are you okay? We fell right into the stomach of this giant baby.
Yes, Labrador, I'm fine, but we need to get out of here. We're surrounded by stomach acids and food. We need to act quickly.
Agreed. Look, there's a tunnel ahead, probably leading to his esophagus. If we go through it, we might have a chance to escape.
Good idea. Let's carefully make our way through so we don't slip. Stay close, Labrador. It could be slippery here.
I see the tunnel. It's pretty narrow, but we can squeeze through. Let's go, one at a time. I'll go first.
Okay, I'll follow you. It's dark and wet here. Be careful. We're already halfway through.
Dobie, look, there's light ahead. That might be the way out. We need to hurry.
Labrador, it really is the exit. Let's go faster before he swallows us again.
Dobie, remember when we arrived at that restaurant where everyone had been poisoned by that villain demanding money for the antidotes? It was a real catastrophe.
Yes, Labrador, I remember. People were in shock, many unconscious, but we couldn't leave them without help. We split up immediately. You kept an eye on the villain while I stayed to assist the victims.
I watched him as he extorted money from the patrons, offering them antidotes. When he least expected it, I approached and detained him while you were providing aid to the people.
We gathered all the victims in one place and started administering first aid. It was challenging, but we managed. Soon the ambulance arrived and transported everyone to the hospital.
We handed the villain over to the police, who were already waiting outside. It turned out he had previous convictions for fraud. Thankfully, no one died thanks to our quick response. Yes, Dobie, we really acted like true professionals. I hope that villain won't be able to harm anyone else. We had another story. Dobie, it was a crazy day. Skunks attacked our police station to free their brother from custody. They sprayed everything, and the station became unbearable.
Yes, Labrador, I remember that day. The whole station reeked of their spray. We could barely breathe. Those skunks were determined in their actions.
They took over the entire ground floor. We tried to drive them out, but they were persistent, especially their leader, a huge male who was clearly ready to do anything to save his brother.
Labrador, remember how we tried to use special deodorizing agents? But they quickly found ways around our defenses.
Yes, it was both funny and alarming at the same time. We eventually concluded that we needed to call in professional cleaners to rid the station of that smell.
But in the end, we managed to handle the situation. The skunks were taken back to nature, and their brother was transferred to a safer place. It was a real challenge for us, Labrador.
Dobie, we urgently need to find weapons to fight the boss. The RPG should help us deal with him quickly.
Right, Labrador, let's look for it. Here, I found the RPG. Now let's quickly prepare for battle.
There he is, the boss. But wait, it's not him. These are clones of the giant baby. They're everywhere. We need to hit each of them once.
They're all over the place. Labrador, be careful. We'll have to demonstrate our accuracy and speed.
I'm starting to shoot. First one down. But there are so many of them.
I'm getting them too. Second one killed. Don't give up, Labrador.
They're closing in. Another one bites the dust. Let's hold the defense, Dobie. There are a lot of them, but I believe we can handle it. Dobie, this is like a nightmare. We've been fighting these baby clones for eternity. They keep reappearing over and over again, and it's impossible to defeat them.
Yes, Labrador, it's madness. We shoot them. They disappear, and moments later, they're back again right in front of us. We need a plan to stop this endless stream.
I don't know how we got into this. They're so persistent, as if they were made for an endless battle.
Congratulations, everyone, on the victory. But this is not the end. Ahead of us lies another challenge, folks. I hope you've already subscribed to our YouTube channel.
Dobie, a week ago, our quiet town was struck by something terrible. A dragon. This event changed all our lives. We were not prepared for such a trial.
Yes, Labrador, it was a true trial. The dragon appeared out of nowhere, like a harbinger of apocalypse. Its roar echoed everywhere, and its fiery breath burned everything in its path.
We gathered together to defend our town. Our residents showed bravery, ready to stand up for their homes and families. We organized our defense and prepared for battle.
I remember how we divided tasks. Labrador, you coordinated combat actions, and I took charge of organizing evacuation and aid for the injured. It was our only hope for survival.
The dragon was immense and powerful. Our initial attempts to stop it were unsuccessful. Its scales repelled our arrows and even stone projectiles.
But we didn't give up. We used every resource we had. Our best archers and catapults attacked the dragon with all their might, but it kept advancing.
Day and night we fought the dragon. Each time we thought we were nearing victory, it launched new attacks. Our town suffered from fire and destruction.
Our strength was in unity. We came together as one big family, determined to defend our town to the last. Every resident contributed to this struggle.
In the end, we found a weak spot on the dragon. We managed to strike it decisively. The dragon vanished in a burst of fire, leaving behind only ashes and destruction.
After the battle, we looked upon our ravaged town. Many homes were destroyed, but our hearts were filled with pride for our victory. We will rebuild our town and make it stronger than ever before.
That's a wrap, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye for now. Hi, guys. Today we're playing Roblox in the Escape the Prison Just for Girls mode. This is going to be epic. Don't forget to like and comment.
Yeah, guys, we need to eat this giant cake to find a spoon and dig a tunnel. I always knew sweets could save the world.
Wow, Dobby, I think I found the spoon. It's time to start digging the tunnel. I wonder why they hide spoons in cakes. Is this some kind of secret tradition?
Now we need to go through this crazy parkour with rusty pipes and nails. And there's lava below. What a challenge. Who came up with such extreme conditions? As if rusty pipes and nails weren't enough.
Exactly. Careful, this pipe is shaking. Hold on tight.
Whew, almost fell. These nails are so sharp, like they're specially sharpened. Apparently they're not expecting guests here.
Almost there, Dobby. Look, there's the exit from the parkour ahead. But be careful, just a few more jumps.
Escaping this prison in Roblox is really tough. I don't know if we can make it. It all depends on you, viewers. I wonder if we have more boys or girls on our channel. Everyone hit the like button. And in the next video, we'll show who there's more of.
Dobby, it looks like we're in trouble. The girl guard is already after us. We need to find a way to escape quickly.
Exactly, Labrador. I see some pipes. Let's climb on them and try to go through the ventilation.
Great idea, Dobby. The guard won't be able to catch us at these heights. I hope she doesn't know we're parkour masters.
Haha, yeah, she has no idea we can jump like cats. The ventilation is ahead. Ready?
Always ready. Let's climb up, Dobby. This is like a spy movie. We just need some laser traps.
It would be cool if someone added lasers, but we'll manage without them for now. Here's the exit from the ventilation. We're almost free.
Jump down, quick. We did it. We escaped from the guard.
Phew, what an adventure. Labrador, remember when we were called to that girls' party? That was fun, too.
Oh, right. The girls had a unicorn and rainbow cupcake party. And we were called because they thought someone stole their pink glitter.
Ha ha, yeah. It turned out the glitter was hidden by one of the girls' little sisters as a surprise. And we were searching for the thief all that time.
And don't forget when we accidentally fell into the ball pit. The girls laughed so hard and we looked like two giant balls ourselves.
Yeah, that was an unforgettable evening. It's good that we can not only catch criminals, but also entertain kids.
Dobby, you won't believe what happened last week.
Something serious?
Yes, very. A mother came to us desperate about her little girl named Lily. It turned out that Lily really wanted to summon a unicorn. She had heard many stories about magical creatures and was convinced they existed.
What did she do?
She turned to a local witch named Morgana. Everyone knows she's a powerful sorceress capable of real miracles, but her methods are often unsafe.
That already sounds alarming. Morgana was never known for her kindness.
Exactly. Lily approached her with the request to summon a unicorn. Instead of explaining that such things could be dangerous, Morgana agreed to help. She said she would fulfill her wish, but the result would be unexpected.
What happened?
Morgana performed the ritual, but instead of summoning a unicorn, she turned Lily into one. When the girl realized what had happened, it was too late. She found herself in the body of a unicorn, unable to speak or explain what had happened.
That's terrible. How did we find out about this?
Lily's mother came to us when the girl went missing. She told us about her suspicions and mentioned that Lily often talked about unicorns and magic. We immediately suspected something was wrong and went to Morgana.
How did we manage to save Lily?
When we arrived at the witch's house, we saw a unicorn locked in a pen. It looked scared and helpless. We demanded an explanation from Morgana. At first, she denied everything, but under pressure, she confessed to her spell.
How did we turn Lily back?
We forced Morgana to perform a reversal spell. It wasn't easy, but eventually she agreed, understanding that the consequences could be severe for her. With the spell, Lily returned to her human form. She was frightened, but safe and sound.
That's incredible. Good thing we made it in time. How is Lily now?
She's recovering. Her mother is taking care of her, and they are trying to forget about the terrible incident. We also warned everyone in the area about the dangers of dealing with Morgana.
Great job, Labrador. The important thing is that Lily is safe, but we should keep an eye on Morgana to ensure nothing like this happens again.
Guys, what do you know about gnomes? Do you believe in them?
Labrador, do you remember that strange call we got a week ago?
Of course, Dobby. It was one of the most unexpected cases we've encountered. We got a call from a girls' camp. They reported that gnomes had taken over their camp and seemed to be planning to make the girls their queens.
Yeah, I remember. When we arrived on the scene, the situation was really alarming. Gnomes, who are usually considered peaceful beings, were behaving quite aggressively. They had set up their flags and turned the camp into their temporary stronghold.
The gnomes started demanding that the girls acknowledge them as kings and become their queens. They acted as if it was a matter of honor for them. I don't know what could have prompted such behavior, but it was clearly something unusual.
Exactly. We saw that the girls were locked in their tents and the gnomes were guarding the camp. It seemed like they were trying to perform some sort of ritual to assert their right to the royal status.
It was really unsettling. We quickly devised a plan to free the girls. The first step was to determine how many gnomes were there and what their weak points were. We had to act carefully to avoid provoking them into aggression.
We split into groups. I and a few of our team approached the camp from one side to distract the gnomes. Meanwhile, another group used this opportunity to free the girls and lead them out of the camp.
The gnomes were surprisingly persistent, but we used cunning and strategy to outmaneuver them. One of our colleagues created a false noise on the other side of the camp, which gave us a chance to quickly and discreetly free the girls.
We found the girls in their tents. All were shaken but generally safe. We explained the situation to them and helped them leave the camp. Fortunately, we managed to do this before the gnomes noticed anyone was missing.
Once the girls were safe, we returned to the gnomes to find out what had happened. It turned out that the gnomes were under the influence of some magical amulet that made them act against their will. We managed to return the amulet to its place and restore order.
Yes. After the amulet was returned, the gnomes went back to their usual behavior and even apologized for their actions. We made sure everything was settled and there would be no further issues.
It's good we were able to help the girls and sort out the situation. It was truly a strange and unexpected case.
Absolutely. The important thing is that everyone is safe and the girls' camp is back to being a place for relaxation, not a captured fortress.
But that's not the last case involving you girls. We love and appreciate you very much. You're our princesses. But now, here's a very scary story about you.
Labrador, do you remember that not-so-ordinary week ago? We got a call saying that all the girls at the camp had turned into zombies.
Oh, how could I forget? It was a real nightmare. We thought it was just another prank or a false alarm. But when we arrived, we saw that it was much worse than we could have imagined.
Yes, when we got there, the camp looked like a scene from a horror movie. The girls, who had recently been full of energy and laughter, were now wandering around the camp like zombies, with empty eyes and slow movements. We realized it wasn't a prank.
We immediately noticed that something was wrong. None of our attempts to communicate with them worked. They didn't respond to our voices and couldn't explain what had happened to them. We had to figure out the cause and find a way to help.
We started investigating the camp. We observed the girls' behavior and looked for possible signs of infection or magical influence. It seemed that this was not a typical infection, but something supernatural.
Yes, and that's when we found strange things. It turned out there was an old spell book in the camp, left there by someone. The book was full of ancient and dark magical formulas. We suspected that someone might have used it for a ritual.
Exactly. We decided to trace the source of the magic. We discovered that the book had been found by one of the girls. She had accidentally opened it, and one of the spells apparently activated, turning everyone into zombies.
The next step was to find a way to reverse the spell. We contacted a local mage who specialized in such matters. He explained that we needed to perform a purification ritual to neutralize the spell's effect.
We organized the ritual at the camp. It was challenging, as the girls continued to wander around, but with the help of magical symbols and spells, we managed to create a protective circle and carry out the ritual. It was like battling a dark force that had consumed them.
And fortunately, the ritual worked. After we completed the process, the girls began to regain their senses. Their eyes returned to normal, and they returned to their usual state. It was an incredibly joyful and relieving moment.
Yes, we immediately noticed that the girls were in shock, but they received all the necessary help. We provided medical checks and psychological support to ensure there were no lingering effects.
And although that week was a real test, we managed to handle it. The camp became a safe place again, and the girls returned to their usual activities.
It was indeed a unique case, but fortunately, we were able to deal with it and restore everything to its proper state.
Remember when we were training with our iron swords? Recall how I accidentally hit you in the side when you tried to do a trick? That was a lot of fun.
Oh, don't remind me. At that moment, I thought my acrobatics dreams were over. But now, we need to use all our skills and wits to defeat this Iron Beauty.
Agreed. And don't forget, this robotic cop definitely doesn't like it when her swords get touched too often. Let's flank her and strike at the vulnerable spot.
Look what I've come up with. Let's do it in team attack style. One distracts, the other strikes. We'll be like a battalion during the holidays. Fast and efficient.
We did it. Guys, see you in the next mode. Remember, together we can handle any challenge. Hello, dear friends. As you can see, we are at school, which means today we will be escaping from Mr. Stinky.
Yeah, hello everyone. But first, we need to get out of the classroom. Crazy Mr. Stinky has hung our photo on the board and written that we're noobs. We need to prove him wrong.
We'll gladly do that. I think we'll manage it easily since we're real sheriffs. Let's activate the fire alarm and escape before anyone comes.
Sheriff Labrador, we have many tough challenges ahead, but we need to save our strength for the final boss battle.
Oops, it turns out he was very close the whole time. Looks like stealth isn't an option. Run!
He's looking at us so terrifyingly, with such a beastly smile. He's about to catch up with us. We need to speed up.
Did it seem like he pushed us with his belly? Maybe he's just trying to scare us or play with us. He probably just wants to see how we handle his challenges.
Ha ha ha! Why did he fall asleep? All right, better not take any chances.
Looks like someone before us tried to escape and stepped into this strange green liquid. I hope it's not snot.
Better snot than acid, I suppose.
We're climbing into the ventilation. We need to hold our breath to avoid choking on the dust.
Now we're gonna do a little parkour. We all remember that you're a professional at it, so I'm sure we'll pass through it without any mistakes. Looks like he's already awake. I hope he doesn't attack us now.
Just look at how creepy it looks. Why did he drill through the wall and peek at us through a hole instead of just setting up a camera?
Brr, very spooky. Maybe he thinks this will scare us and we won't be able to continue.
He won't scare us like this. We face scarier things. We just need to ignore him and focus on reaching our goal. We need to figure out how to open the gates.
I think those two buttons should open them. The question is whether we need to press them separately or at the same time.
It would seem unfair of the developer to make a door that can only be opened together. Well, we'll find out soon when we press the second button.
How much money and time do you think went into creating all these trials? He's really crazy. Why did he need to create all this just to watch crying children?
Great! The door opened. I think he spent around $500,000 in about 6 years on all of this. But we can't say for sure because we haven't seen the other trials yet, and I'm sure they'll be even more elaborate.
Oh, I've seen this trial somewhere before. I know what's coming next.
It's possible he's conducting these trials and observing us to learn our weaknesses and defeat us in the final battle.
Good theory, but right now we need to focus on not getting hit by the laser. Listen, I don't quite understand lasers in games and how they can disintegrate things, because I've never seen such lasers in real life. Only those you can play with a cat or aim with a weapon.
Dobie, there are lasers in existence that are very powerful and used in materials processing or furniture manufacturing. Their strength allows them to cut through various objects.
Got it, thanks. Look, this guy is suggesting that we take some secret path. I'm not sure if we should listen to him or not.
Well, I think if it's a trap and we get killed there, it's not a big deal, because we'll just respawn and continue on the normal path. Plus, it's very curious to see what's there.
It looks like a giant suspended platform. Maybe we're about to have a boss battle. But why did that guy say it's a secret way?
It seems like all we can do is press this red button.
On the count of 3.
Let's go!
All right.
It seems like the button really spawned the boss. He looks like Mr. Stinky, but with legs made of sewer pipes.
And under his body, there's a large gear. What could that mean?
Maybe Mr. Stinky likes steampunk, and that's why he made a robot copy of himself. It even knows how to throw its hat. Perhaps it has artificial intelligence built in?
Given the advancement of technology, it's possible, but the problem is that Mr. Stinky is 1,000,000 years old and wouldn't have mastered such technology. However, considering how crazy he is, we can expect a lot from him.
Just a little more HP left for him. The key is not to get too close so he can't reach us with his hat.
Yes! That was a bit exhausting. He was too strong. Or maybe they gave us too weak of a weapon.
All right, what's next? We defeated him and they didn't even give us anything? What nonsense. Maybe they'll at least leave us the weapons.
Phew, I wanted to go back but accidentally jumped. No big deal. They'll respawn us now.
In the end, that guy just blatantly tricked us. He probably wanted to laugh at us failing, but something didn't go according to plan. Did you notice that the edges of these books have spikes? That's very dangerous.
And there were also some balls with spikes. They looked a lot like viruses. I hope we didn't get sick from being near them.
I think we almost ran into a spiked mace. I didn't even notice it when I was jumping.
Oh no, it's Yellow-Toothed Larissa. Grab the weapon and shoot her in the eye.
Listen, so that means she's Mrs. Stinky. Because her breath smells bad, looks like she hasn't brushed her teeth in a long time. Fate! I hope she at least takes a shower.
And she also has terrible makeup and an ugly wart on her face. So it all makes sense now. Mr. and Mrs. Stinky are dating. Very interesting.
Hooray! The second boss is defeated. After the video, we'll need to celebrate our victories.
Sheriff Labrador, do you remember how we saved the town from the approaching tsunami?
Of course, Dobie. I remember every day of our teamwork. Sometimes before bed, I recall many of our adventures together, and it warms my heart instantly.
That's wonderful. Let's tell this story to the guys then. After a long day at work, Labrador and I finally boarded the bus heading home. We were tired, but satisfied with a job well done. Suddenly, through the bus window, we noticed the sky darkening, and the sea began to rage. Taking a closer look, we realized a tsunami was approaching our town.
Without hesitation, we jumped up and asked the driver to stop the bus. The driver, seeing our determination, complied immediately. We rushed out of the bus and ran to the nearest police station to raise the alarm.
We knew time was short. At the station, we contacted local authorities and warned them of the impending threat. All services were immediately mobilized to evacuate people from coastal areas and reinforce the dikes.
I took on the coordination of the evacuation. Alongside firefighters and rescuers, we began going door to door, warning residents and helping them quickly leave the danger zone. Meanwhile, Dobie organized barricades and directed transport for evacuating people.
The work was intense, but coordinated. The townspeople acted quickly and efficiently, following our instructions. The tsunami was already approaching as we completed the evacuation and reinforced the last dikes.
When the wave hit, we were ready. The high barricades and reinforced dikes withstood the force of the water. The town remained intact, and the residents were safe.
After the tsunami receded, we inspected the town. The damage was minimal thanks to the quick response and collective efforts of all services. The residents thanked us for our prompt action and rescue.
We returned home with a sense of having accomplished something truly significant. A saved town and the grateful faces of the residents were the best reward for our hard work.
Guys, if you enjoy our stories, be sure to write about it in the comments because we have plenty more to share.
I hope this guy won't interfere with us now.
It seems he's really getting in our way. Ugh, why did he stand up there and not move? There's no space as it is.
Let's remember another story about the cunning plan of the raccoons so we don't get too upset.
We went outside to investigate and saw strange glowing objects in the sky, resembling UFOs. These were devices disrupting the operation of electrical appliances, and their origin remained a mystery until we received a message from local residents who had seen raccoons placing something suspicious in the sewers.
We realized that raccoons, known for their cunning, had been planning this scheme for years, aiming to bring us back to the Stone Age. It posed a serious threat to our town, and we had to act quickly.
Gathering a team, we descended into the sewer pipes where we discovered and deactivated the devices disrupting electricity. It was a dangerous mission, but thanks to our unity and professionalism, we managed to succeed.
Look, we've reached some kind of cup. I think it's a trap. It can't be this easy. Someone is probably going to ambush us now.
Well, what should we do? Let's take it.
Yes, we were right. It was actually predictable. But the fact that this cup is our weapon is amazing.
How did Mr. Stinky make this robot? I wonder if it's hollow inside. But it's pure steel, so it must be very heavy. You have to be careful it doesn't fall on you, or it'll crush you flat.
It's possible it's not even a robot, but a giant suit. Maybe he's sitting inside it and controlling it.
Oh no, I didn't expect his attack to kill in one hit. It's okay though, everything's saved, and he's down to less than half HP. We'll finish him off quickly now. Let's go.
I didn't quite understand. He has another attack where he jumps, but just in case, I jump too. Maybe it's his lethal ground wave.
Yeah! Great job, Labrador. It seems that was the final boss. We can safely leave this cursed school now.
I hope they let us keep this cup. Besides reminding us of our victory and the effort we put into overcoming all the trials, it can still shoot. I would like a weapon disguised as a regular item. It could save someone's life.
And when you hold it in your hands, you run very fast. Probably because you feel pride in your victory and gain motivation.
Thank you for the support and for being a good conversation partner, Dobie. Without our teamwork, we wouldn't have made it to the end and wouldn't have been able to defeat the final boss.
Thank you too, Lab. I really enjoyed this place. Guys, if you know any other interesting Roblox places, be sure to write them in the comments so we can check them out.
Thank you guys for watching our videos all the way to the end. Well, our video is coming to an end. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. See you all later. Hello friends, it's me again, Sheriff Labrador, and today we have a special episode.
Hi everyone. Yes, Sheriff Labrador, I am already excited.
Together with my loyal partner, Sheriff Dobie, we will tell you about the most beautiful and challenging mode in Roblox. Escape the Carnival of Terror Obby.
This mode is simply incredible. You enter a mysterious and eerie carnival full of dangers and unexpected twists.
Let's start from the very beginning. As soon as you enter the game, you are greeted by a spooky carnival lit only by dim lanterns. Dangerous traps and evil ghost clowns patrolling the area are scattered everywhere. Your task is to avoid them at all costs.
Exactly. The first stage is a maze of inflatable castles. You need to be very careful and quick not to fall into the clown's hands. I advise you to watch your step carefully to avoid the traps.
Yes, and that's just the beginning. Next, you will face the mirror room, where it is easy to get lost. The main thing here is to remember the path and not to panic. Mirrors can be deceiving, so don't let them confuse you.
And don't forget about the Ferris wheel. It looks beautiful, but inside it is full of dangerous mechanisms. You need to be very attentive and not stop, so you don't end up in a trap.
We need to go through these rusty pipes. Oh no, the fire touched us. We'll have to start over. And of course, we can't forget about the final part, the escape through the horror attraction. This is the most challenging part, where you will have to use all your skills and agility to reach the exit.
Friends, this mode is truly amazing. It is not only challenging, but also incredibly beautiful. We are sure you will love it. We are now in the very heart of the Carnival of Horrors, in the house of the Clownity. Just look at this grim place. We have to complete a parkour over old stinky pipes, and below us lies an abyss.
Yes, this is really frightening. The stinky pipes are not just a test of our agility, but also a true test of endurance. The foul smell is awful, but we need to focus and move forward.
Watch your step, Sheriff Labrador. If we slip, we'll fall into that bottomless pit. We need to be extremely careful and watch every step we take. Let's take this slowly and steadily.
Good plan, Sheriff Dobie. Do you see that narrow pipe ahead? We need to jump onto it and then move along the wall. The key is not to rush and to maintain our balance.
Great, I'm ready. Go ahead, Labrador, you first. I'll cover you. This is probably one of the toughest stages in this mode, but we'll make it, right?
Of course, Dobie. We're a team. Okay, one jump, then another. Carefully. Got it. Now it's your turn, Dobie.
Got it. I'm coming. One jump, another. Yes, I did it. Now we need to walk along this narrow pipe. It's slippery, so hold on tight.
Now we are in the scariest part, the torture room. There are saws everywhere, and we need to somehow make our way through this madness and get outside, where the clown's amusement park awaits us.
Yes, this is a real nightmare. These saws spin so fast that one mistake could cost us our lives. We need to move very carefully and precisely time our actions.
Look, Dobie, the saws move in a specific pattern. If you watch closely, you can catch the moment when they stop for a split second. That's when we need to dash through.
I made it through too. Can't you see me? Wow, look at this beautiful amusement park. The Ferris wheel, roller coasters, and so much more.
We're now running away from the scariest clown in this carnival. He wants to turn us into his dolls, and we urgently need to find a way to escape. Look, ahead of us is the Ferris wheel. That's our chance to get out.
Up, up! The clown is still behind us. Let's go, Labrador. We can do this.
Yes, we're at the top. What a view! From here, we can see the entire carnival. The clown won't catch us here.
Phew, that was intense. But we did it, Labrador. Now we're safe.
Guys, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give us likes. It's the best gift from you that each of you can give us.
For subscribing, I'll tell you a secret story. Our adventure began when we received an urgent call to the amusement park. Who would have thought that a giant dinosaur would appear in this creepy carnival and start wreaking havoc?
Yes, when we arrived, the scene was just terrible. The dinosaur knocked over the Ferris wheel, and it started rolling towards the sea. We realized that if it wasn't stopped, there would be big problems.
The first thing we did was try to get the dinosaur's attention so it would stop destroying the park. Labrador, do you remember how we used loud noises to distract it?
Of course, Dobie. We started sounding sirens and launching fireworks. It worked, and the dinosaur temporarily stopped. This gave us some time to figure out how to stop the Ferris wheel.
The wheel was almost at the sea when we realized we could use construction cranes to hold it back. We quickly climbed the nearest cranes and started moving them towards the wheel.
It was tough, but we made it in time. We stopped the wheel, and it ceased rolling. Meanwhile, the dinosaur started moving towards us again.
We knew we had to act quickly. While Labrador was dealing with the wheel, I went to find a way to calm the dinosaur. I found a big net and some strong tranquilizers. Just in time, we managed to sedate the dinosaur before it could start destroying everything again.
It was a real team effort. We saved the amusement park and prevented a huge disaster. Friends, always remember that in such situations, coordinated work and quick thinking are crucial.
Yes, Labrador, we did it! Friends, if you liked our story, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We are always ready for new adventures in the world of Roblox and are happy to share them with you.
Whoa, Dobie, this portal has teleported us to a new location. A volcano is erupting around us and lava is flowing beneath us. This is insane.
Yes, Labrador, this looks very dangerous. We have to be extremely careful. Look, there are many fire traps and challenging parkour ahead. We need to be quick and precise in our movements.
Right, Dobie. Let's start by carefully observing the trajectory of these fire traps. We need to understand when they activate so we can dash through between the bursts.
Look, the first trap activates every 5 seconds. We have to wait for the right moment and quickly dash through. Ready?
Ready. 1, 2, 3. Now. Great, I made it. Your turn, Dobie.
Here I go. Now! Who made it? Look, ahead is a narrow bridge over the lava. It looks very fragile, so we need to move slowly and carefully.
Keep your balance, Dobie. Look straight ahead and don't look down. We can make it if we're careful. One step at a time. Great, we're almost to the other side.
We did it, but there's another big fire trap ahead. We need to wait for the right moment again and dash through quickly.
Right, let's focus. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Now. Whew, that was close, but we did it. Next, we need to jump over the lava flows.
Labrador, look, these platforms are moving. We need to time our jumps correctly to avoid landing in the lava. I'll jump first. Now! Great! I'm on the platform. Your turn.
Hey, here I come. Jump. Made it. We're doing great, Dobie. Just a few more jumps and we'll reach a safe place.
Come on, Labrador. Just a bit more. Jump. And another. Yes, we did it. We made it through all the fire traps and parkour.
Wow, do you see how beautiful and spooky it is here? It looks like someone is having a party. So, shall we go to their house? This clown hasn't had enough of us yet, and now we're going to play some mini-games from him. Wish us luck, subscribers. Dobie, remember the story about the clown park? Recently, we were called to the clown park. There were rumors that everyone who visited the clown's room disappeared without a trace. We decided to investigate.
Yes, Labrador. Those rumors were too strange to ignore. When we entered the park, the atmosphere immediately felt sinister, especially that clown room.
Exactly, Dobie. The entrance to the room was decorated with rusty chains and cracked masks that seemed to watch our every move. We immediately felt that something was very wrong here.
Inside, it was even worse. The walls were covered with faded posters of circus performances that looked like they came from an old nightmare. The air was thick with the smell of mold and decay.
Agreed. There were dolls scattered haphazardly on the floor, looking like they had been thrown in a hurry. And the walls had strange stains that resembled dried blood.
And those eerie clown paintings on the walls. They were painted with such creepy precision that it felt like the clowns were about to come to life. In the corner of the room, we found a huge chest labeled toys. But when we opened it...
Yes, inside were old tattered clown costumes and wigs. And one more thing. A small diary where someone had detailed the disappearances. It was horrifying.
Reading those entries was chilling. They described how the clown lured his victims by offering them a special performance. But none of them ever returned. We knew we had to be extremely careful.
We continued to search the room and found a hidden door behind one of the posters. Behind it was a narrow corridor leading into the darkness. We decided we had to find out what was down there.
The corridor led us to a massive door, which we found out was the dressing room.
It seems this is where the clown turned people into his friends, applying makeup to make them unrecognizable. This explains why no one ever returned. Those who left this room were completely transformed. Even their close friends and family couldn't recognize them. This is pure madness. I'm really nervous too. You never know what's waiting around the next corner, but I think this ramp might be our way out of this level.
Hold on, Labrador. We're taking off. Oh no, what is this darkness?
Hooray! We made it through this level. Thanks for being with us. Stay tuned. There's a lot more exciting stuff ahead. Until next time.
Goodbye, and remember, always hold on tight on those roller coasters of horror.
Hello everyone, guys. Dobie and I really want to go to the bathroom, but the angry teacher won't let us. We'll have to endure or go through the challenges and get to the bathroom.
Yes, guys, hello. So today we logged into Roblox in the mode Don't Poop Yourself at School. Labrador, I really need to go to the bathroom. Let's hurry up. I'm about to brick it right here.
Dobie, do you see how scary it is here? This school is very frightening. There are rumors that the teachers here are real monsters. That's why they don't let students go to the bathroom.
Labrador, today we will find out the truth. But I can already tell you something. It's a big secret. Subscribers. I can tell you too, but you have to subscribe to the channel, like, and leave any comment. Time starts now.
Hey, Dobie, did you also notice that something's not right in our school? These teachers seem strange.
Oh, Labrador, haven't you figured it out yet? They are monsters. Remember Mr. Brown, our math teacher? He has glowing orbs instead of eyes.
Yeah, and his creepy smile when he gives us tests. It's like he feeds on our fear. And Miss Green, the biology teacher? She's definitely not human. Her hands sometimes look like tentacles.
Exactly. And she constantly asks us to bring live frogs for experiments. She's way too into dissecting, if you know what I mean.
Haha, yeah, right. And Mr. Red, our PE teacher, he's always so angry, and when he yells, his voice sounds like a wolf's growl.
Oh, yes, and he never lets us go to the bathroom. It's crazy. Maybe he's afraid we'll find out his secrets.
Quite possible. Remember how he caught Johnny when he tried to run away during recess? He snuck up on him so fast it was like he had 4 legs.
Oh, and Miss White from the library? She never blinks. I saw her eyes glowing in the dark when I returned a book after closing.
How creepy. She's definitely not human. I think she drinks more than just tea when she sits in her chair.
Labrador, have you noticed that the school is always eerily cold? Like there are ghosts here.
Yeah, and the strange noises in the hallways. Last night I heard someone whispering my name. It wasn't you, was it?
No way! In those moments, I hide under the blanket. But remember how we found those footprints on the floor in the chemistry lab? They were huge, like those of a Yeti.
Oh yeah, and that strange smell, like something's rotting. I think that was Mr. Red's dinner.
Haha, possibly. But what should we do? We need to uncover their secrets and tell everyone.
Yes, but first we need to find a safe place. Maybe in the old abandoned classroom.
Great idea. We'll gather evidence and save the other students. We're real detectives.
Hey, Dobie, do you see those huge guys on the field? We need to somehow get past them without getting crushed.
Oh, Labrador, those guys look like real tanks. The coach is definitely serious about their training. Look, that's Coach Brown, our PE teacher. He's definitely not human, more like a bull in human skin.
Yeah, you're right. He yells so loudly that the ground shakes. And those players, if we're not careful, we'll get flattened.
Okay, Labrador, stay close to me. We need to be like ninjas to sneak past them. Over there on the left, the players seem busy practicing tackles.
Good idea, Dobie. But look, Chris, our classmate, just dashed past us on the right. He's running so fast as if Coach Brown himself was chasing him.
Ha ha ha, exactly. I think Coach Brown secretly pumps them full of adrenaline. And what about Coach Green? He's standing by the goal and looks like he's about to explode with anger.
Yeah, and his constant growling when someone makes a mistake. I think he'll turn into the Hulk if someone throws the ball wrong. Hey, let's go behind that pile of helmets. They might give us some cover.
Agreed. Be careful. Don't trip. Oh, and there's Coach Red. His arms look bigger than my legs. Did you see him lift 3 guys at once yesterday?
Yeah, Red could compete in the world's strongest man show. I think he feeds his players some special mix. Hey, look, Coach White is here too. He's writing something in his notebook. probably planning how to catch us.
Or coming up with a new strategy to turn us into American football stars. But let's hope that's not the case. Ha ha!
One day, we received an urgent call from the city school. Students and parents were in a panic as the teachers suddenly turned into supervillains and blocked all the exits. Our city had never seen such chaos. Dobie and I immediately realized that an evil scientist, who had tried to wreak havoc before, was behind this.
Yes, Labrador. That villain was known as Professor Treachery. His goal was always to create chaos and fear. This time, he turned our teachers into monsters and took over the school. We knew we didn't have time to think. We headed straight to the school to deal with the situation.
The first thing we did was sneak into the school through the back entrance. Inside, we were met with a terrible surprise. The hallways were filled with traps and obstacles. Overcoming one obstacle after another, we began searching for the evil professor.
In every classroom, we encountered teachers who had been turned into supervillains. Mrs. Gray, the math teacher, had become the Ice Queen, freezing everything around her. Mr. Brown, the PE teacher, had turned into the Iron Bruiser, with superhuman strength. Each encounter was a tough challenge, but we didn't give up.
We understood that we needed to find the source of this transformation and stop Professor Treachery. As we passed through the library, we stumbled upon a secret passage leading to an underground laboratory. That's where the professor was hiding with his evil equipment.
When Professor Treachery saw us, he tried to activate his last trump card, a giant robot that was supposed to destroy the school, but we didn't give him a chance. Using our wit and agility, we disabled the robot and captured the professor.
Gathering all the evidence of his crimes, we called for backup. Professor Treachery was arrested and his equipment was destroyed. Gradually, the teachers returned to normal, and the school once again became a place where you could learn without fear.
We're glad we could save the school and restore peace and calm. That day reminded us of how important it is to be ready for any challenge and to protect our city from evil.
That day started like any other, but turned into a real fairy tale. Dobie and I were patrolling our city when we noticed a strange glow coming from an old building on the outskirts. Deciding to check it out, we went inside and found ourselves drawn into an incredible adventure.
Yes, Labrador, it was something unimaginable. We entered a laboratory full of strange machines and vials. Suddenly, an evil scientist we had never seen before appeared. He introduced himself as Dr. Confidus and announced that he was going to turn all people into sweets. We tried to stop him, but he activated his machine, and we were both enveloped in a bright light.
When the light faded, we were horrified to find that we had turned into wild animals. I became a wolf and Dobie a fox. But that wasn't the worst part. Everyone around us had turned into sweets. Houses, shops, and streets were all covered with candies, cookies, and pastries that were once people.
We knew we had to act quickly. Our first task was to find Dr. Confetus, but he had disappeared. While searching for clues, we encountered several animals who had also been transformed from people. They were panicking, but we calmed them down and promised to find a way to return everyone to their normal state.
Our first step was to find a safe place for the animals to hide from other wild beasts. We found an old abandoned farm where they could take shelter. Then we headed deep into the forest, hoping to find some traces that could lead us to Dr. Confidus.
Labrador, do you remember how we stumbled upon that ancient cave? Inside, we found old records and magical symbols. It turned out that Dr. Confidus had used ancient magic to create his machine. We realized we needed to find a magical artifact to break the spell.
We continued searching and came across a magical tree that, according to legends, could set things right. The tree was guarded by a pack of wolves, but thanks to my new form, I was able to convince them to let us pass. We received a magical fruit from the tree, which was supposed to destroy the spell.
Returning to the city, we found Dr. Confidus's machine. I climbed inside and destroyed it using the magical fruit. Immediately after, all the sweets began to turn back into people. Dr. Confidus's magic was undone.
However, this didn't free Dobie and me from our animal forms. At the last moment, we found Dr. Confidus trying to escape. We caught him and forced him to return us to our human bodies. He reluctantly agreed, knowing he had no other choice.
Once we were back in our normal forms, everyone in the city thanked us for saving them. Dr. Confidus was arrested, and the city returned to normal. It was an adventure we will never forget.
Hey, Dobie, see that teacher? She's throwing textbooks at us. We need to figure out how to stop her right away.
Wow, Labrador, let's take cover. That's Miss Duty. She's furious. But what do we have against her textbooks?
Look, there are plungers in the corner. Let's use them. We can throw them at her to neutralize the threat.
Ha ha ha! This is going to be hilarious. All right, Labrador, aim and throw.
Catch this, Miss Duty. The plunger is flying. Look, it hit her right in the hair.
Great throw. Now it's my turn. I grab the plunger and throw. Ah, missed. I need to be more precise.
Don't give up, Dobie. We have to defeat her so we can finally go to the bathroom. Another throw. Hit her in the shoulder.
Ha ha! Labrador! She looks like a hedgehog with plungers. My second throw. Right in the stomach. Direct hit.
The plungers are ready. Who would have thought we'd have to fight a teacher using plungers? But if that's the only way to win and get to the bathroom, so be it. Dobie, look, her health is decreasing. Just a bit more and we'll defeat her. Throw another one.
With pleasure. Here you go, Miss Duty. Another plunger and... Got her. We defeated her.
Hooray! Now we can finally go to the bathroom. Great job, Dobie. Thank you for watching. See you again. Hi, subscribers. It's us again, Sheriff Labrador and Sheriff Dobie.
Hi, guys. Today we're diving into the world of Roblox and playing the Escape from Benny's Restaurant mode. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any new episodes.
So, Dobie, tell our viewers what this mode is all about.
Sure, Labrador. Escape from Benny's Restaurant is a mode in Roblox where we're stuck in a creepy restaurant run by a strange chef named Benny. Benny has lost his mind and locked everyone inside. Our task is to find a way out by solving puzzles and avoiding traps.
Yeah, Benny is definitely not right in the head. Did you see him running around with that giant meat cleaver? It feels like he's making soup out of subscribers.
Oh, look! I found the first key. It fits the door to the kitchen. Hopefully there are no hot sauce traps, or worse.
Ha! Can you imagine if Benny poured a lot of Tabasco into the soup? We'd definitely become superheroes with fire-breathing powers.
Labrador, be careful. There's an oil puddle here. We don't need a slip and fall show.
Oh, thanks, Dobie. I thought it was a bonus track for skateboarders. All right, I found wire cutters. I'm going to cut the wire at the exit.
Great. Just watch out for Benny sneaking up from behind. He's a master of sudden appearances, like your grandma with unexpected treats.
Ha ha ha! You're right. My grandma with her cookies could compete with Benny in a culinary battle. Oh, I found a secret room with recipes. Looks like there's another key hidden here.
Benny's secret recipes? Maybe after all this, we could open our own restaurant. But first, let's escape from here.
Well, we've almost got all the keys. We just need to get out of the fridge. Hey, Dobie, this reminds me of the time we tried to make a snow fort in the freezer.
Exactly. Only back then there wasn't a giant chef with a huge knife. All right, I've opened the door. Let's go, Labrador, to freedom.
Freedom is still far away, but I hope we can handle it and defeat this evil chef.
Labrador, do you remember how we had a real adventure with that evil scientist who pretended to be a chef just a week ago?
Of course, Dobie. That was a completely crazy case. This scientist opened the Burger Ore restaurant and started feeding everyone giant burgers. At first glance, nothing unusual, but then something strange began to happen.
Yeah, the residents of our town started gaining weight rapidly. It turned out that this evil genius, Dr. Gloom, had developed special burgers that made people very fat. He wanted everyone to feel the same way he did in childhood, when he was teased for being overweight.
When we got the first call, many residents were already complaining about feeling unwell. We went to Burger Ore and immediately noticed something was off. The restaurant was full of people greedily eating enormous burgers.
I've never seen such huge burgers. They were the size of footballs, and everyone was eating them with such greed as if they had never seen food before. We knew we had to act quickly before the whole town turned into a city full of gluttons.
We started an investigation and discovered that Dr. Gloom was adding a special ingredient to his burgers that caused severe addiction and weight gain. This ingredient was the result of his scientific experiments.
We managed to infiltrate Gloom's laboratory, which was right under the restaurant. There, we found many strange machines and chemicals that he used to create his burgers.
When Gloom realized we had uncovered his plan, he tried to escape. But thanks to our efforts and the help of the town's residents, we were able to apprehend him. He tried to explain his actions by talking about his difficult childhood, but that didn't justify what he did.
We immediately organized a cleanup of the town from those burgers. All the residents received medical help, and we started developing a program to restore their health.
We had a real challenge. It all started when we received the first alarming call about strange occurrences in our town. The locals began to notice that things in their homes were mysteriously changing size.
Yes, at first it seemed like just a prank. But when someone found a giant carrot in their garden the size of a car, it became clear that something serious was going on. We started an investigation and found that all these oddities were happening near the Magic Spoon restaurant.
We decided to go there and talk to the chef who worked there. His name was Mr. Crawford, and he was known for his unconventional approach to cooking. But what we discovered surpassed all expectations.
When we entered the restaurant, we saw that all the items were either gigantic or tiny. Tables, chairs, dishes. Everything looked like it was from a fantasy movie. Mr. Crawford greeted us with a wide smile and offered to explain how he did it.
He showed us his device, a small machine with many buttons and levers. According to him, he developed this device to diversify his cuisine, but he soon realized that he could do much more with it.
Crawford started using his device not only for cooking. He began enlarging items to impress his customers and shrinking things to make them easier to store. But soon, he started using his invention for evil purposes.
He enlarged the streetlights, which caused chaos on the roads. Then he shrank the trash bins, causing garbage to spill onto the streets. We realized we needed to stop him quickly before he did something even more terrible.
We tried to talk to him and convince him to stop, but Crawford was too fascinated by his invention. So, we decided we needed to deactivate the device. It wasn't easy because the device was well protected.
We had to come up with a plan. We distracted Crawford by asking him to show us how the device worked. While he was demonstrating its capabilities, Dobie quietly sneaked up and pulled a crucial wire from the machine.
The device stopped, and the items began returning to their normal sizes. Crawford was furious, but we managed to calm him down and explain that his invention was causing more harm than good.
We confiscated the device and sent it to a lab for study. Crawford agreed not to use his inventions for evil purposes anymore and promised to direct his talents for the benefit of society.
This was another instance where our town was in danger, but thanks to our quick reaction and teamwork, we managed to set everything right.
Have you heard about Cookland? It's an incredible discovery. Imagine an entire planet made entirely of food.
Exactly. Planet Cookland is a true paradise for food lovers. Mountains of mashed potatoes, rivers of chocolate, and forests of broccoli. But the most amazing thing is the inhabitants of Cookland. They don't just live among food, they are chefs themselves.
Yes, they created this planet using their culinary skills and magical ingredients. Every corner of Cookland smells like something delicious. But, when we received a distress signal from there, we realized that not everything was as perfect as it seemed.
Right, Labrador. When we landed on Cookland, we immediately sensed that something was wrong. We saw giant pies cut in half and huge chunks of cheese melting under the scorching sun. It seemed the climate conditions had become unfavorable for their food.
We met the head chef of Cookland, Chef Biscuit. He explained that the planet was experiencing serious problems. Their culinary spells were losing their power, and the food that made up the planet was starting to spoil.
Chef Biscuit asked us to help find the cause of this disaster. We embarked on a journey across Cookland, trying to understand what could have disrupted the balance. Along the way, we encountered many unique creatures, such as macaroni monsters and sugar elves.
And when we reached the center of the planet, we discovered that the source of the problem was a giant caramel volcano. It had started erupting and disrupted the planet's magical balance. We needed to take urgent action.
Labrador and I teamed up with the local chefs and began working on a solution. Using magical recipes and our sheriff skills, we managed to create an antidote for the volcano. We took the freshest ingredients from across the planet and made a giant cooling cake.
The cooler worked! The volcano calmed down, and Cookland's magic began to restore itself. In gratitude, Chef Biscuit invited us to a grand feast where we tasted the most unusual dishes. Do you remember that moon cheese soup? It was something else.
Of course I remember. It was an amazing adventure and a unique experience. We helped save the planet and learned a lot about magic and cooking. Now Cookland is thriving again, and we can proudly say that we played a part in its salvation.
That was one of the strangest and creepiest adventures in our sheriff careers. Let's tell our friends what happened.
So, it all started when we decided to check out the new pizzeria Robo Pizza. We heard they had great pizza and unique shows featuring animatronic robots.
When we walked in, everything seemed pretty cute. Robots in animal costumes were singing songs and entertaining children. But when we tried to leave after the show, the doors were locked.
Right. At first, we thought it was some kind of mistake or joke, but then we noticed that the robots started acting strangely. Their eyes turned red, and they stopped smiling.
I remember one of the robots, a giant bear named Freddy, came up to us and said, "You can't leave. The party isn't over yet." It was creepy.
We tried to find an exit, but the robots had blocked all the doors. We realized we needed to act quickly and find a way to disable them.
We split up to explore the pizzeria. I went to the control room and you stayed behind to distract the robots. It was risky, but we had no choice.
Yes. I remember trying to strike up a conversation with one of the robots, a huge chicken named Chica. She was telling me about pizza recipes while you were looking for a way to shut down the system.
It was a creepy adventure, but we made it through. It's important to always be on guard, even when you're just going out for pizza.
We finally finished telling our stories and completed this mode. See you in the next mode.
Hello everyone, it's Sheriff Labrador here. Today we've dived into one of the strangest modes in Roblox, Escape from the Inside Out 2 Family Prison. Imagine this, a prison, but not just any prison. It's built on emotions, inside the mind.
Yeah, guys, you heard that right. We've ended up in a prison where the Inside Out family is in charge. Remember those funny and emotional characters? Joy, sadness, anger, disgust, and fear? Well, now they're not so friendly. They've taken control and decided to lock us up.
And each of us has to go through trials connected to their emotions. For instance, to escape from a cell, we had to deal with anger. He set traps all over the floor, and we had to jump across hot tiles to avoid getting burned.
And to find our way out of the gloomy corridor, we had to pass through Sadness's zone, where everything seemed endless and gray. The mood kept trying to drag us into a dark abyss, but we didn't give up.
Of course, we couldn't avoid Disgust traps. That section was a nightmare. Dirt, slime, and all sorts of gross substances were everywhere, making us want to run away as fast as possible. But the key to the exit was there, so we had to push through and complete the challenge.
And the scariest moment was the fear corridor. Strange sounds and shadows chased us in the darkness, and it seemed like the exit was near, but we had to stay calm and stick together.
And of course, there's Joy. You'd think she might help us out, but no. Joy was too controlling, trying to trap us in an illusion of happiness. We had to break through the glass ceiling and escape her rainbow-colored, yet still prison-like world.
Long story short, this mode is a real challenge. We had to go through trials tied to each of the emotions to break free. But in the end, we did it. Or did we? You'll find out in the video. We honestly don't know yet if we can complete this mode. Share your guesses in the comments.
One day in our small but cozy town, something strange happened. It all started when I, Sheriff Labrador, and Dobie noticed that our actions became, how should I put it, uncontrollable. We couldn't understand why we suddenly started laughing for no reason, or why we were sometimes gripped by inexplicable fear. And the more time passed, the stronger this feeling grew, as if someone or something inside us was taking over our emotions.
One day, while Labrador and I were patrolling the town, we suddenly had this strange urge to do something completely unpredictable. For example, I wanted to run in circles around the fountain in the town square, and I just couldn't resist.
And I, suddenly frightened by some rustling noise, climbed the nearest tree and couldn't get down until I realized that I'm not even afraid of heights. We understood that something very unusual was happening to us.
When we connected to the device, something incredible happened. It was like we fell inside ourselves and found ourselves in a bright, strange place that most resembled a city within the mind. But this city was unusual. It was inhabited by joy, sadness, anger, disgust, and fear from the movie Inside Out.
Yes, they were the ones controlling us from within. We realized that they somehow transferred into our heads and were now fully in control of our emotions and actions. And while it seemed funny at first, we soon understood that it wasn't so fun after all.
For example, Joy made us laugh and jump for joy at the most inappropriate times. Imagine trying to apprehend a criminal, but instead, you just can't stop laughing. We realized we couldn't go on like this.
Anger wasn't giving us any peace either. He pushed us towards aggressive actions. I even almost destroyed our police office once when the coffee machine broke. We knew we had to do something before we caused even more trouble.
The first one we visited was Joy. She lived in a sunny, bright room full of laughter and fun. We explained to her that while joy is important, it needs to be appropriate and controlled. Joy understood us and promised not to interfere when we're dealing with serious matters.
Next, we went to Sadness. She lived in a dark, quiet room filled with memories and sorrow. We explained to Sadness that while it's okay to be sad sometimes, she shouldn't keep us in that state constantly. Sadness agreed too.
Anger was the hardest to deal with. He was boiling and bubbling in his room, ready to explode at any moment. But after a long talk and explanations, he finally calmed down and promised to control himself.
Disgust and fear also understood us. We explained to them that they could be useful, but only in certain situations. They agreed and gave us more freedom in making decisions.
We returned to our work, but now we knew that we could handle any situation at any moment. After all, the most important thing is harmony within ourselves.
We had a journey into the world of emotions. At first, we couldn't figure out where we were. Around us were strange but quite bright and colorful landscapes. Soon we realized that we had entered a world very similar to the one shown in the movie Inside Out 2. We found ourselves in the headquarters where people's emotions live and work.
And then we saw them. Joy, sadness, anger, fear, and disgust. Each one was very vivid and individual. Joy was in a pink dress and always sparkling. Sadness was blue and a bit sorrowful. Anger was all in flames and always looking agitated. Fear was drenched in sweat and trembling. And disgust was purple and very displeased.
Joy immediately approached us with a smile and offered help. She explained that due to recent events, the emotions had started to get off track, and they needed help to restore harmony in the emotions of the person we were responsible for.
We were given control over the emotions of a person named Jack, who was going through significant difficulties in his life. Our task was to help Jack find a balance between all his emotions and return him to a normal state. This turned out to be more complicated than we had thought.
Yes, indeed. Each day was a real challenge. We had to manage Jack's emotions so they would react appropriately to what was happening. For instance, if Jack faced a tough situation at work, anger and fear would start to dominate, while joy and sadness would try to find ways to calm him down.
One of the first challenges was helping Jack deal with his fear of public speaking. We worked with Fear, who was in a panic, to ensure he didn't paralyze Jack. At the same time, Joy tried to encourage him so he could confidently speak in front of an audience.
And then there was a real battle with anger. Jack often got angry with his colleagues, and we had to control this emotion so it wouldn't get out of hand. We worked with anger to channel his energy constructively and prevent destructive consequences.
It was a difficult but exciting process. We also faced the tough task of helping Jack cope with his sadness after losing a close friend. Sadness was consumed by her own emotions, and we needed to find a way to help Jack accept the loss and find a path to healing.
Through our journey, we realized that every emotion is important and necessary. They all play their role in a person's life and help them handle various situations. We learned to respect each emotion and use them at the right time.
As we continued working with Jack's emotions, we noticed his mood starting to improve. He became more confident, calm, and happy. Most importantly, he learned to manage his emotions better, which helped him cope with challenges and find joy in everyday life.
When we completed our task, the emotions thanked us for our help and sent us back to our world. We returned to our office, and the amulet no longer worked. We were filled with the experience of managing emotions and helping someone find balance in their life.
It was an incredible adventure that taught us a lot. We understood how important it is to understand and manage our emotions and how they affect our behavior and mood. Now that we're back in our world, we use this knowledge to better assist our friends and the residents of our town.
It all started early one morning when we noticed a strange cloud forming over the city. At first, it seemed like a minor incident, but soon we realized it was something much more serious. As the cloud approached, the ground beneath our feet began to tremble, and mysterious sparks appeared in the air.
We immediately headed to the scene. When we arrived at the town square, we saw 4 figures standing on the edge of the city. Each one represented one of the elemental mages. The fire mage was dressed in flaming robes with tongues of fire erupting from them. The water mage was enveloped in a mist of water that flowed and swirled around him. The air mage wore a light, translucent cloak, and his presence created powerful winds. The earth mage was as majestic as a mountain, with his body covered in rocks and vegetation.
When the mages began their actions, we realized that each one posed a serious threat. The fire mage started creating fire whirlwinds that ripped up the pavement and destroyed buildings. The water mage summoned massive floods that inundated streets and homes. The air mage created hurricanes that tore off roofs and lifted objects into the air. And the earth mage began causing earthquakes that shook the entire city and damaged its foundations.
We had to come up with a plan to handle this chaos. We quickly split up to tackle each mage individually. I went up against the fire mage, while Labrador took on the water mage. It wasn't easy, as each mage was incredibly powerful and had their own unique abilities.
Once the mages were defeated, they vanished, leaving our city in relative peace. We continued to restore the damage, help the residents, and address the aftermath of their attack. It was a difficult and lengthy process, but together, we managed to rebuild our city and return it to normal life.
After all this, we learned that unity and teamwork are the most important things. When facing challenges, it's crucial to come together and use all available resources to overcome any obstacles. Labrador and I are proud that we could protect our city and show that together we can handle any trials. Всем пока, ребята, спасибо за просмотр!